Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I want to start a new session. It's about the JavaScript object. So previously, I have also discussed about that things with you, how can working with this object. For now, in this session, I want to discuss about more about it. Now let's do that work. For doing this right now, I want to clean everything. And here right now, I name it as a JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript object. Okay, JavaScript object. So previously I have already discussed about that things with you, like I take some of the variable, with this let I name one of the variable name as a name, and for the name I pass one of the value. I pass one of the value as a right now as a Kazi. Okay, so that is one of the variable, and after that I take another variable. I take another variable for the age, and for the age I take another numeric type, and here I name it as a 40. Okay, like as a 40. Great. I take another variable with the let. I name that variable name as a hobby, and hobby I put some of the string value as a reading. Okay, reading. So they have actually one of the user, and this user related age, and this user related hobby, right? So that is one user details. So now if you want to make it into the one thing, then you can actually make it with the object. Okay, here only we have to do simply I take another variable as a constant variable. Okay, that is a constant variable, and into the constant variable area I name it as a user, because that is represent one of the user details. And after that, here I added one of the object. Okay friends, so all that object will be in our this curly bracket. So here I take with this let, we define that all variable, and here into the object area we will define everything with the property. Okay, so here I want to take another property as a name, and for the name I pass one of the value before as a Kazi, right? So that is a Kazi, and then I take another property as a age. So make that sure you understand it, and when you use that as a property, that will be as a clone. Okay, that will be as a clone, not that is equal to. So age, and age I name as a 40. Okay, that is a 40, and then the comma, and another property I name it as a hobby. Okay, hobby. There is a hobby property, and into this hobby property I pass on the string value as a reading. Okay, reading. Perfect. I hope friend you get some of the idea. That is when you define anything with the let, that will be as a variable, and into the object area that will be as a property. Okay, that is a property name. I pass one of the property value as a Kazi, age I pass one of the 40, and then hobby I will be as a reading, and that will be obviously one of the comma. Okay, here you have to add that as a comma. And now if you want to display it, okay, after that I want to display it. That means I want to in our console log, into the console log area I want to now display our this user data, the user all that object data. And now if you click as a save all, and now if you go click as a refresh, now you can see it's perfectly get all that our name. That means all that our age, that is our property name, property value, hobby, reading, and name as a Kazi, and you can see the prototype as the object prototype. And now if you want to get this specific property name, like here they have the multiple property, right? I want to get a specific this property name as a name rather than the age. So if you want to get it, they have the two rules. You can actually do that work with using the dot notation or rather than the break notation. Okay, I have already discussed about that things with you. Like then you have to do, like I want to get that our name property just value. So that will be as a console, and then the log, and into the console log area, then that will be the user, right? So this user, and then you can see it's also suggested all that our property name. So that is the dot notation. So with this dot notation you can also get it, like I take that as a name. So now our name should be as a printed. Now click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, now you can see it's now perfectly get that our name. And if you also want to get that hobby, that will be as a hobby. And now if you click as a save all, and now if you go click as a refresh, now you can see it's now display as a reading. So that is the dot notation. Okay, and also there is the another one as a break notation. You can also get that a specific property data by the break notation, but I show you. For doing this, that will be as a console, and then the console log, and then our user. Okay, user, and after that will be as a third bracket, and here you have to assign your property name. You can see it's also getting the property name as a age, hobby, and the name. If you now click as a select as a name, then with our break notation you can also display this data. Now click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, now you can see it's now perfectly get this data. right friend? And if you want to get that our age, you can also get it like here. I with the break notation, I make it as a age. Okay, that will be as a age. And now if you click as a save all, now go there, click as a refresh. Now you can see it's now successfully get our this property specific data. Okay friend, I hope it's very much clear to you. So friend, that will be very common things. Okay, in our project we will use it a lot of the time, so make that sure you understand it. With this let, we define that variable, and when you actually added another object, and into this object that will be as a property. Okay, that is a property, and that is a property value. There is another property and property value. And if you want to get this data, that means property data, you can get it by the dot notation or rather than the bracket notation. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.